Hola, profesor. So here is my portfolio. The first section I have is palabras. These are from chapter 6. This is vocabulary. I found that it was helpful for me to actually write down all the vocabulary from each chapter. So we have some of the common vocabulary that we use in chapter 6 with different types of clothing. I have my adjectives, some other words, and I have my colors, the main verbs of the chapter, and then some additional words. So all these have been very helpful for me when I'm doing my work. And then all of these, it's the same thing. This is from chapter 7 though, and this is Actividades del Baño. So these are all the reflexive verbs that we use in the reflexive verb grammar section. And this helped me a lot to form sentences and to learn reflexive verbs. And then we have the same thing. So instead of I guess things in the bedroom, now this is the bathroom. So in el baño, we have some additional words over here that have helped me por vida, por mi vida, in my daily life, or in my life, just to say. And then we have verbs like gustar, and then palabras indefinidas and negativas y negativas. So these two are also from, are helpful for the grammar section as well to memorize as I was writing. And then we have sequential words. This has helped during my work for some of the Canvas assignments. And then if we go to estructura, so this is from chapter 6. This first one is saber and conocer. I found that it actually helped me a lot to write down a lot of similar things from the book, but it is nice to be able to reference during my test. So we have both what saber and conocer mean, and then so we have the table of the yo to singular forms and plural forms, etc. The difference between saber and conocer, and then some special cases. And then we have indirect object pronouns. So everything has helped me for sentence structure. But yes, also so some singular forms, some plural forms, what to do with irregular verbs. That's helped me a lot. And what's helped me a lot is to create these little bubbles which show the different ways that the sentences can be written. I think sometimes I get confused on whether you do, te quiere pegar or quiere pegarte, but to know that you can do them both ways and they mean the same thing has been very helpful, and to learn sentence structure as well. Then we have the preterites of regular verbs. This has helped me a lot because I did my tutorial on this. So to talk about past events, we have how to form the preterites of AR, ER, and IR verbs in the singular and plural, different stem changes, and then the verbs that end in carg or zar, and then, yeah, what to do with ver. So it's a good reference for me for the final in the future. And then finally from chapter 6, we have the demonstrative adjectives and pronouns. So this section was actually very good for both VHL and my homework as well, to be able to reference, because I kept forgetting which one was this, these, that, those, etc., and which ones were masculine and feminine, which ones were plural. It's a lot to remember, so it helps to write this all down. Just more about demonstrative pronouns, and then 3 neuter demonstrative pronouns. Yeah, just which ones are sort of like genderless, I guess. Then over in chapter 7, I have my reflexive verbs. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is what I did my, yeah, so reflexive verbs are what I did my tutorial on. So this was very helpful for me to look back on. So I have sort of what reflexive verbs are, what they do. That was really helpful. An example using the verb lavarse to demonstrate the singular and plural. How to conjugate it, some special rules for where the pronouns are placed in sentence structure. So this was also helpful as well. And then just special notes at the bottom as reminders. And then we go on to the indefinite and negative words. This page was also really helpful to reference because I can't remember all these as of right now when I'm forming sentences. So I have this open a lot to reference when I have to use the indefinite and negative words. So we have the definitions, some examples, the different ways to form sentences, how to use the personal a, and then, yeah, okay, so just some special rules, some notes about alguno and ninguno, how they are reformed depending on the situation. We have the preterite of ser and ir. There's not too much for this. I know that this isn't quite a full page, but this is what I have for this page. This is all I really felt like I needed, per se. So we just have the difference between ser and ir, and then the fact that they are very similar. The big thing for me, honestly, was just to know that it depends on the context. And so when we go into Vita, I have some practice with sentences for daily life, and that helped me to just get a sense of when you use a different one based on the sentences. So then we go to Vita. So I focused on the panoramas a lot for the Vita because I felt like it was not only good to know for the class, but it was also good to know historically because I have felt as though the Spanish classes taught me a lot more than just grammar. It's teaching me a lot about the culture, and so to know more about just Spanish-speaking areas is very helpful to me. So I have things like the area, approximately how big it is, the capital and its populations, main cities, the money that they use. I try to draw maps with the main cities and the capitals, just to get a sense of where they are, kind of what the flag looks like for references, and some famous figures. That was cool and helpful to me to know. And then, so I have different things about each country, which was cool to me. So the first one is about, like, for Cuba specifically, the dances, the ballet, some things about the economy, some things about, poblacion, and then things about music, so the Buena Vista Social Club, how influential these things are. It's good to know. I like to know the history of these places. It's nice to know before you potentially travel there, and so this has been cool to me, not only to practice writing sentences in Spanish, but then to also know these things. And so now I have my daily practice, which I guess could go under the grammar section, but I like it in Vita because this is my daily practice. These are daily sentences that can be used based on reflexive verbs, verbs like gustar. So I get practice writing the sentences, and then I also get to fill in the blanks with the answers. So this one is ser and ir, this one is indefinite and negative, but it's more practice. And then finally I have my panorama on Peru. So I have, same thing as Cuba, I have the area, roughly how big it is, the population size, capital, main cities, some writing about Peru. I tried to draw the flag as best as I could, and I tried to draw the country and the main capital and cities as best as I could. So I have the languages, the money that they use, which is also important to know if I ever travel there, some more celebrities from the area, and then finally more about Peru. So this is on Lima, the capital, more about Lima, the history of Machu Picchu, and then the economy with the llamas and alpacas. So thank you, Professor. That was my portfolio for chapter 6 and 7.